They got blown out. The brakes beat off of them last week, 38 points. It's one of Jerry Jones' worst home losses ever in 36 years. Well, he was asked about his lack of off-season moves, and things got intense, to say the least. Take a listen.
This is not your job. Your job isn't to let me go over all the reasons that I did something, and I'm sorry that I did it. That's not your job. I'll get somebody else to ask these questions, man.
Jerry, we're trying to figure out why the team is.
I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding.
We'll get somebody else to
That's
ask
right.
these questions.
That's right.
And then the radio host laughed. And Jerry goes, I'm serious.
I like kidding with you. I thought you got to pop out and show them.
Yeah. I'm gonna hit Acho with that. I'm gonna get somebody else that.
Wait, I hope y'all. No, seriously though. I'm gonna talk to you first, because I know you asked another question, but dang, that's what he just said. You got a problem with that?
You asking all the questions.
You know? Finally! Come on over.
I ain't got an issue with it, man. But I do think, though, the Cowboys are imploding.
Oh.
I think that for sure. I mean, at the point in which Jerry got the brakes beat off of the team that he owns on his Brady's 82nd birthday, that leads to implosion. At the point in which the Cowboys have forgotten who they truly are, their identity, that leads to implosion. Y'all realize this is the worst the Cowboys have been running the ball since before Emmitt Smith. If the Cowboys could do one thing well, it was run the ball. Whether it was Emmitt Smith, whether it was DeMarco Murray, whether it was Ezekiel Elliott, whether it was Tony Pollard, for the last 30 years, the Cowboys were known for doing one thing, and that's running the ball. And this year, it's the worst rushing offense they've seen in over 30 years. So they're imploding because they no longer have any idea who they are. And they getting the brakes beat off of them, and it happened on Jerry Jones' birthday. At a minimum, if you have an identity, you can stick to your identity. But if you have no identity, of course you're going to implode. Either going to implode or you're going to explode. They're imploding.
Yeah, I think it's a wrap, though, right? And I said this before the season started, like, they're not going to the playoffs. I thought I was joking when I said that, right? I thought I was crazy. They're not going to how? First of all, right now, today, they're not a good team. They can't stop the run. They can't, on offense, they can't even get anything really going, right? That Steelers, last time they won, they should have lost that game, right? It took them a long time to get going, then finally they got going. But as I look at them, so they're not a good team, they're not playing well, and they're hurt.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, I'm gonna be honest. I played on some bad teams, not a lot, but a couple. And when I got hurt, we were a bad team, there's no urgency to get back.
So you were healthy.
Yo, I'm hurt, we playing terrible, right? Wait, I'm sorry. We're playing terrible, and then I get hurt. So as I'm watching us look bad, I'm still hurt. I finally get better. It's like, you know what? Yeah, I would play at 85. I'll play with 85%, but we're a bad team. Yeah, I'm gonna set up. So now we look at all these guys that's injured. Why are we rushing to come back? They all got contracts. I mean, Michael Parsons is probably the best player on the team, and he don't get paid. Get all the way healthy and a little bit more healthy, and then come back. It's over for the Cowboys, though. And they gotta see the Eagles twice a year.
Yeah, I don't think they're imploding.
Woo!
They're 3-3.
That's their record?
They're 3-3.
What they look like, though, Chase?
Yeah, I get it. But they're 3-3. And I sort of liked what Jerry said because
I loved it. Yeah, I loved it too.
it's sort of genius if you really think about it.
Okay.
Because you have a middle, bottom of the pack 3-3 team. You got blown out at home on Jerry's 82nd birthday. Your defense isn't good. Dak's throwing interceptions at a crazy rate, which is the highest in his career. You don't have a run game. You can't stop the run. Yet somehow, some way, we're still talking about him.
Mm-hmm.
And Jerry's a businessman. And if you had a scale, and I have a scale for you guys to look, and on one side you had win Super Bowl, and on the other side you had be the most talked about team no matter what, Jerry Jones is probably right in the middle. I'd say like 50% of him wants to win the Super Bowl. 50% of him wants to be talked about. Most owners, 100% Super Bowl don't care about talked about. This is a way to get the Dallas Cowboys back in the news cycle and take the issue off of his team, his lame duck head coach, his quarterback who hasn't lived up to $60 million a year, all this stuff. So I think it's genius.
This, Chase. No, wait, can we keep this, Chase?
What?
For the Steelers.
Oh, you're just talking about Justin Fields.
But hold on, real quick, though. I like the scale and all that, but I think Jerry wants to win Super Bowls, though. I think that's what he, like, you don't
get it. For sure.
Because the way he drafts, right, the players he signs, the money he gives out, I don't think Jerry's just playing around. I don't think he needs the attention. He gonna get the attention. It's Jerry Jones.
Yeah. Have we ever been on teams to where we thought we were going to be good You know what I'm saying?
But that's every year.
No, but I'm saying, even if you're looking at the roster and you're like, man, we ain't really got a big-time running back, but we got CD. But yeah, you thought you were going to be good. And then you get into the season, and it's going a different way. But not only that, once you get blown out in the season and you thought you were going to be good, have we all been in the building where, man, I wear whatever I want at practice and all that, and now you come out to practice after you get blown out, you're like, man, put them shorts on, man. Why you got white? And everything just started to get a little tight. That's the Dallas Cowboys
Tightens
right
up.
now, right? You've been blown out at home 2 times this year already, and you only had, what, 3 games there, maybe 4?
They got 3 losses there.
You know what I'm saying? And you've been getting beat down. So right now, everybody is just frustrated. Jerry, you come on that radio station a lot, I'm assuming. You know what the type of...
We ain't
You know
boys,
the type
dog.
of questions they asking already are going to ask. Run game ain't going. You already know that. He's frustrated. He just turned 82. He don't like how this season's going. Hey, all this frustration is coming out right now. The Dallas Cowboys are going to be okay. I don't think it's imploding right now. I think they're going to be okay. I don't know what okay means. I don't know if okay means make the playoffs. I don't know if okay means win 10 games. I don't know. But they're going to be okay. They're 3-3 right now. I don't think it's imploding right now.
Can I say one more thing real quick? Because I'm done for the day. But because how does that make sense?
We got a lot more blocks, dog.
But how's that? It's like you doing it. You making me mad, right? But good morning, you making me mad. First of all, so they play the Eagles twice a year. I don't know how you feel about the Eagles, but that's gonna be a hard game for them to win.
It'll be a
Can we
hard
agree on
game,
that?
but they showed they could beat the Eagles.
Okay. You play the Commanders twice a year.
That's going to be tougher this year.
Schedule.
You still got the Texans, good team, and you still got the Niners, who you never beat. So I don't know how it's gonna get better. And another thing is, I hate when people want to take too many shots at Jerry Jones. You know why? Because I play with certain owners, right? That let me not even say that, but there's certain owners that don't do everything for their team to win, right? Jerry Jones. We talk about this year, but what about the other years when they were winning 12 and 12 games a year? What about when you had them 9 All-Pros? They didn't just show up there. We did draft them guys, right? Tony Pollard, for what we think he was, you had Ezekiel Elliott, and then you draft this other speedy guy, Tony Pollard, from a smaller school. He turned out to be a good player. I could go down the list of all these players. Dak Prescott wasn't a first-rounder. So it's like, as much as we want to talk about Jerry Jones, give him his flowers, too, though. He's put some really, really good teams in the past for the Cowboys that didn't do nothing. So back then and now it's the same result.
Yeah, the only thing that frustrates me, and it really does, is like, Jerry, you knew this result. Like, how could you go into the season with Rico Dowdle, with an extremely aging, way past his prime Ezekiel Elliott, with the Deuce Vaughn, which is a phenomenal story. I don't know how great of an NFL player he'll be, but a phenomenal story. His dad's on the coaching staff. How could you go into the season with that competently? Brandon Cooks was your number 2, but you knew him and Dak Prescott, for whatever it's worth, don't vibe enough for him to be a legitimate number 2. You go into the season with no real cornerback 2. The reason I say no real cornerback 2 is because Trayvon Diggs was coming off an ACL. Then you have Deron Bland. But what if Trayvon Diggs isn't as good as he was going to be? He's coming off an ACL. You're not supposed to be. Like, Jerry, you went into the season with so many roster deficiencies. Mozzie Smith, your first-round pick at defensive tackle, was so questionable that Micah Parsons said during training camp, if y'all remember, hey, if you don't get right, you don't get benched or get cut. Like, that's what your own Micah Parsons defensive player was saying. So now we're 6 games in, Shady, and I hate when people act surprised, like you didn't do this. Like, bro, you did this. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you stay out all night, you're going to be tired in the morning. Don't act surprised when you're tired in the morning. You stayed out all night.
So
I hate when that happens.
Okay, so for this year, I get you're right. You are right. Totally right. So what about the last 2 years?
Oh, all praise to Jerry. I'm with you on Jerry.
You see what I'm saying? Okay, all right, I'm fair
This
enough.
was a big year because their head coach didn't have a contract. And Derrick Henry is okay, you see the year he's having? He was dangled out. He wanted to be in Dallas for $6-7 million. Jerry said, nah, we're good. Like, come on, man.
So I got a question for y'all. Do you think Jerry Jones, like, asked Mike McCarthy, are we good? Or, like, asked the coaching staff, are we good at running back? Or do we need to go get another dude? Because I've seen plenty of coaches like, hey, man, we need to run. No, we don't. We good. We got Rico Dowdle. Showed a lot in training camp. Do you think Jerry Jones might have asked, and that's why he wasn't truly aggressive to go get a running back? Because all of us and everybody talking sports knew the Cowboys needed a running back, and we knew Zeke wasn't the answer. So do you think that, hey, it's possible?
I think Jerry made an executive decision. Will McClay, I've been in the Cowboys building for 2 years. Y'all know I work there. He really runs the staff. He really drafts and does most everything, unless Jerry Debo's him. Look up Will McClay if y'all aren't familiar with who that is. I think Jerry Debo'd him. I think Mike McCarthy, for whatever y'all think about Mike McCarthy, he's too smart having Aaron Jones and the A.J. Dillons and the
Eddie
Grants
Lacy's,
and the Eddie
all that,
Lacy's.
yeah.
McCarthy's too smart to go into a season with Rico Dowdle as his number one running back. That's not a McCarthy thing. For my money, I think it's a
You think he gave him any input? Like, hey, how you feel? Or no, just like,
I'm
yo,
sure it was
No.
talked about.
I think it's remember what happened, and we saw it because Hard Knocks brought us into the room. Remember how Brian Daboll was like, when I think it was a GM. Who's the GM of the Giants?
Joe Shane.
Joe Shane.
yeah.
Like, we don't let's let Daniel Jones prove it. We don't need Saquon. And Daboll's sitting there like,
Are we sure?
wait, what? let's let DJ go.
The look on his
Daboll
face.
just kinda like,
But see what's crazy? Because like, we were always in Buffalo. So Joe was there in Buffalo, I was there in Buffalo, and Dayball was in the Buffalo. So Dayball brought him there. But like, there's always a question I always have. Like,